Welcome to the Chiro Department podcast, where we help chiropractors build their practice and also build a business they don't grow to hate. Every week, we're going to bring you practical and implementable strategies and interviews so you can grow your marketing, your mindset, and your business. If you are easily offended or you like being broke, this is not the show for you. But if you want to learn how to build your empire and love your life while you do it, then you just found your new secret weapon. Now, let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. Well, what's up, my friends? Hey, welcome to episode 1 of the Chiro Department podcast, where here's what we're gonna do. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you right up front what we're gonna do with this podcast. We are gonna teach chiropractors. We're gonna guide chiropractors. We're gonna talk to chiropractors. And if you're not a chiropractor and you're not listening to this, that's fine. It's just, there's gonna be some things that just aren't for you specifically, but you'll be able to take the large ideas for sure. But we're gonna teach chiropractors how to market their practice, because let's be honest, in chiropractic school, they did not teach you how to become a great marketer. They taught you about spines and all of that stuff. And that's why a lot of chiropractic practices and businesses are not crushing it. And so we're going to talk about marketing, but we're also going to talk about just overall strategies for business growth. And then also what I believe is probably the most important thing is how to not just build a business, but also build a life, right? How to not just build a thriving practice and an empire, but how to build a life that actually you love with that. And at the same time, not building a business that you grow to hate. Okay. So I have my notes here. If you ever see me looking off to the side, if you're watching on YouTube or on Spotify, I suppose. But we're going to be talking marketing, mindset, growth systems, and building your life, not just your business. Okay. But that's what we're talking about. And today, listen, this first episode is not just kind of ranting about, what this show is going to be about, but we're going to jump right into something. And the thing that I wanted to jump into today is something that it really is near and dear to my heart, because I've had multiple businesses. Some have done great, some have not done so great. And I've gone through the highest of highs with seasons and also the lowest of lows. And I want to talk to you about this concept of there is a difference between playing to win and playing not to lose. Okay. There's a difference between playing to win and playing not to lose. And the first one says, I'm going to push, work hard, and risk and try new things because I'm going to win. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but I'm going to win. Eventually, I'm going to win. I'm going to crush it. I'm going to be thriving. The other one, the playing not to lose, what that really says is things are okay, and I'm not going to risk. I'm not going to push too hard. I'm just going to kind of play it safe for now because I don't want to really lose what I already have. Okay. And there's a few problems with that way of thinking. And to be honest with you, I've talked at this point now with literally hundreds of chiropractors. And as soon as I start talking with a chiropractor, I can tell pretty quick off the bat whether they are I'm playing to win chiropractor or if they are I'm playing to not lose chiropractor. And what's interesting is even the folks that in our flagship program, Ad Camp, the people that come in that are playing to win, they could be in the same city as another chiropractor that is learning Ad Camp stuff at the same time. And the one who's playing to win, for some reason, they just win. And the ones that are playing not to lose, well, they don't win as much, to be honest with you. Now, here's the few of the problems with this way of thinking, okay? First of all, if you're playing not to lose, you're going to get your butt kicked. You're going to get whooped and never catch up to the chiros that are playing to win. Because people that play to win, chiropractors that play to win, business owners that play to win, they're just willing to do things that you're not willing to do that end up giving them the results that you want. And meanwhile, what happens is people that play not to lose, they'll sit back, and when they see somebody win that is clearly playing to win, they sit back and very easily, they're just like, well, they got lucky. Or, they're just bigger, or they have this or X, Y, or Z going for them. And you start to come up with all these excuses and play this victim if you're a play not to lose kind of chiro or a play not to lose kind of business person. And you end up really resenting people that are crushing it just because they're willing to do crap that you're not willing to do. And that's one of the downfalls of the playing not to lose mindset is you're just not going to do the things required that cause you to win because you're fearful and you're too scared. And so that's one of the reasons you have to watch out for this. Now, the second thing is I want to tell you this. In business, there's this thing that I've learned, and so much of business, while it is marketing and it is systems and there's all these things, there's so much mindset involved in business and winning in business. And here's what I've learned is the majority of the time, you will get your expectations, not your goals. I'm going to say that again for those of you in the back, or for those of you that need to maybe tell someone next to you to shut up so that you can hear this. What I've come to find out in business a lot of the time is you don't get your goals. You get your expectations. You don't get your goals. You get your expectations. Now, Henry Ford has this great quote. I'm sure you've heard it, right? If you've consumed any type of personal growth content or you've been on the internet for more than 5 days. He says, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And within that quote that Henry Ford said, AKA the guy who started the Ford Motor Company, that quote really well sums up the thesis of you don't always get your goals, you get your expectations. If you have an expectation that you're going to win or that you can, the majority of the time you're going to get that. And on the flip side of the coin, if you have this expectation that you can't or you're going to lose or it's not going to work out, well, you're probably going to get that too. And so this is the thing we have to be so careful of is oftentimes we will rise or fall to the level of our expectations. So if you set your expectations high and you say, I'm going to win, I'm going to do the work, whatever it takes, I'm going to do it. Even if I don't feel like I'm winning today, tomorrow, or the next, I'm going to keep risking. I'm going to keep pushing because I know I'm going to win. I will tell you, in the majority of cases in business, you will rise to that level of expectation and you will start to hit goals, not because you set the goals, but because you set your expectations. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, if you set your expectations low of this is risky, this is scary, I don't know, what if it doesn't work and all of these things, and then you look at your business a few months later and you realize, man, we haven't hit any record months. We're not crushing it. Things are tight, all of that. What you got was your expectations. This is a very, very insidious, under the surface type of mindset thing in business that you just have to know about. Whether you've been in business 5 days, 5 months, 5 years, or 5 decades, you will get your expectations. Because I have met chiropractors that have been in practice for 30 plus years and they're still struggling. And it's because they're playing not to lose. I've also met chiropractors that have been in business only a couple years and they're already at 7 figures a year and they're pushing, they're advancing, they're risking because they're setting their expectations higher. So one of my encouragements to you in the middle of all of this idea here is you've got to raise your expectations. I know it's scary. I know it's hard. Your brain is wired to keep you safe and comfortable. You have to ignore that and override it and push forward if you want to win, because if you keep playing not to lose, you'll keep losing. Okay. Last thing I want to mention here is one of the mindsets that will cause you to retract and protect what you have is this playing not to lose. It will cause you to retract, to play it safe, and to protect. And the playing to win will actually cause you to courageously pursue what you don't have yet and what you want to achieve. And again, it has to do with expectation, but it's so much mindset of if I'm playing not to lose, I'm going to protect what I have. I'm going to try to keep my money here. I'm going to try to keep these patients happy. I'm going to try and do all this, which that's not a bad thing. That's good. There's wisdom in that. And at the same time, if you're playing to win, it's going to cause you to have an expectation that's up here that causes you to courageously push forward and pursue the business you want, the empire you want to build, the income you want to have, the impact you want to have in your city. And so at the end of the day on this first episode, I just want to encourage you and I want to challenge you. If you've been living in this place in business or even in life where you're playing not to lose, you need to knock it off, okay? And maybe you just need somebody like me just to tell you like, hey, bro, sis, stop it, knock it off. You're playing not to lose, and it's keeping you small. It's keeping you hidden. It's keeping you not growing. So just stop. Stop it. You're so much better than that. You have so much more potential than that. You're called to so much greater than what you're currently experiencing. And it's your mindset right now that is keeping you stuck. And if you're on the other side of the coin where you are playing to win, I'm telling you, keep freaking going. You might not be winning right now to the degree that you want to, but I'm telling you, if your mindset is a place where you're setting your expectations higher and you're playing to win, you're not only going to win, you're going to win big, and you're going to make a massive impact. Okay? So that's what I got for you on this episode. I really hope that even just this really short, I think it's like 10 minutes that we've been talking so far, has been encouraging to you. And I want to remind you, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, please, because it helps the channel. It's going to help the podcast. And if you're on Spotify or anywhere else, subscribe, right? Follow along, because we're going to be coming out with episodes. I'm going to be interviewing chiropractors. I'm going to be interviewing business people. I'm going to be interviewing marketers, lifestyle design experts. And all of this is in an effort to make sure that as you want to grow as a chiropractor and in your business, you can do just that. Because so often I see chiropractors just go into all these chiropractic like events, and I'm going to learn how to be a better chiropractor. And I want to tell you, as it sits today, you're probably, as a chiropractor, you're good to go. You know how to adjust people. You know how to diagnose people. You know how to find the subluxations. You know how to do all these things. But what you haven't learned, if you're early on in the journey, or even maybe if you are along in the journey and just not winning, you probably just haven't been challenged enough and been given the resources to grow your mindset, to grow your skill set, and ultimately become an asset that grows a business to the place that you want it to be, to have the income you want, and also to have the impact that you want. So wherever you're listening or watching, man, just subscribe, share this with your friends, because we are going to have so much freaking fun on this. I'm not your typical chiropractic ads and marketing guy, right? Like, I mean, you might see my skateboards in the back and all this stuff. Like, I've been in business a long time, love mindset, love personal growth, all this stuff. And now, I've just been called the past year or so to serve chiropractors, and that's what we're going to do. And this podcast is another lane in which we're going to do that. So anyways, love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, share this with another chiro, and we will talk with you next week. See you later.